care. Now that you can see, now you care. Truth or dare, tell me. Are you playing? If I didn't have it all, you could have had it with me. To you, everybody needs some. They ask you questions about me, tell them how you into intuition. Can't handle what I am now. You a fan now. So tell me, the truth or dare? Do you see forget? Just like anyone. Truth or dare? Now that you can see the love from you, dare. Truth or dare? Truth or dare? Tell me, now you care. Are you care? Truth or dare? Hold on, you're under me. When you just went alone, received, oh, now you want me back. And I come to my place, turn around and so too far gone. I'm not what I was. Me down now, 'cause I'm up now, so let's make it. That you used to treat each other. Is it true you care from everyone? Tell me, now are you paying true, truth or dare? Would you still want me if I didn't? You could have gave it up. Wanna get to you, me up. When they ask you a question, we could have gone places, but you went so into. Can't handle what I want. 'Cause I'm up now, so let's make truth or dare. Used to treat me just like it. Is it true you care? Now that you can see, tell me, now you care. You care. Truth or dare, tell me, truth or dare. Are you care?
afternoon, beautiful people. Thank you for joining on. We're always talking about redefining Africans. That. Thank you so much for joining me here on the best radio station. Your lovely words, host Iwitan. Remember to join in regards to why Africans were a threat to always been here who's going to introduce himself. But remember to download an iPhone. You can basically stream live on streamers that's .com. Remember, you are the change you need to see in starts with you, and it's a great time to be alive. That positivity journey is about being healthy. It's about to grow in regards to knowledge and everything. And Kamlesh, how are you doing? I basically just said your name right now.
Sorry about that. My internet is really acting up. I'm trying to sort it out.
Not that good. I feel we, but I think we're just gonna push through. Can you
Hey E. Hey. Can you hear me?
Hey,
Yeah.
yes.
Sorry, my internet was acting up, but yeah, I've sorted it out.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this is such an interesting topic, by the way. I wonder how you come up with these.
Wonder why how I come up with what?
These topics. You always have very insightful conversations on your show.
Conversation and basically in regards to why Africans are a threat to the European Madagascar, or basically I think Kamish is basically in before I start playing a short video in that the black community or the off using the Atlantic and the a way of the Europeans to basically come and venture right now because Africa had great resources and to the west is because intrigued about who we were and also how our own way of thinking, had our own which they did not have. Shout out to Mr. Blackout Fire for information and also having a mind in regards to I share a short video in regards to the top are threat to the Europeans even right now, and that's why ungrading factors about the African community, everything
Hey
has
E.
to basically crash down. Yes,
Is it my internet or yours that's hanging?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're breaking. I've bought data and you're still breaking. I don't know if it's
I'm
me or you. Like I couldn't hear you for like 5 seconds
live.
right now.
Do you wanna join through TikTok or you're good?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's that possible? I thought you're in TikTok the whole time.
No, I'm actually not very big on social media.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not very big on social media. We do it because we have to.
coming from. How you doing? How was your evening
Interesting, very interesting. A very interesting evening.
Mm,
Yeah, that's all I'll say. Very interesting evening.
I'm sorry.
All I'll say is I had a very interesting evening.
You're cutting off.
Yeah, I think it's my data. Let me do this.
Okay.
Let me restart my device and then I can join once more. I think it's
Sure.
uh yeah.
But I'm just gonna go ahead and basically present to the Europeans a small snippet of the topics, and then you're gonna talk. I feel like it's a very deep conversation. First of all, right now, before and also right now, there's a way that, and it's because of a lot of lies has been um view the cow people to be the most superior in days. On that was on Monday with also Kamlesh. We've been talking things are taken away from us, and that's what in regards to who we are, our origin, basically define who we are. Sorry about that. Been faded and cut off in regards that you cannot find. At restoration is basically on the way taking everything that belongs to us and why we are such a threat away right now, and also just listening to the Africans are basically a threat.
It seems as though no matter the geographical location, nation, or prejudice, this has been going on for why this is the case, and some have come up with it seems as though Africans and their descendants across are viewed as some sort of threat. And so today, I wanted to talk why this may be the case.
Thank you. Kindly share this in regards to learning why the Africans are understand about who you are, your origin, and how about the knowing who you are, and actually not be intimidated by of human race. You are the beginning and the end. Shout out to me. Amazing facts, factual information. Have the best radio station in Africa, the Black Heart Fire Radio.
Of African
Can you
history,
hear me now, Kamash? I'll be good.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I actually think it's your data because you're still
Mm-hmm.
hanging. Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. We can continue.
Okay, sure. I was basically in regards to our topic today, and that's why we've been talking about this for quite a while, but basic points in regards to about it. But I hope you're doing better right now, Kamlesh.
E, what do you mean better?
I think we have a problem with our internet.
Yeah, because I'm actually using I bought data and you're still hanging from my end.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
basically
like
my end.
yeah, because every few seconds you'll disappear for a few seconds. Like right there, you had disappeared. The everything was hanging.
Right. Allow me to.
Yeah, you can play it.
Okay.
This channel on Patreon, you're helping in the creation of these videos and sources, or you simply want to show your support, description box below. To begin, this video my personal opinion on the topic based on my own analysis. There is no conclusive answer to this question, as we can't. All I can do is highlight some patterns and draw some conjectural, intended to be some sort of plea for empathy or it's simply intended to be considered as a working model. What it is today, as it concerns our current Afro-descended people. I really appreciated the perspective. I'm hoping that we can do the same. So let's begin. Greek scholars and historians like Diodorus Siculus, a very important narrative that did exist in ancient times. True or not, they expose what the common and ancient commentary that influenced later period belief, or at least the consider, and also that they were among the first as
That guys, I think our internet is pretty. Gonna talk about the fact that Africans are the most civilized right
Yep.
now. Ramesh, well,
Your internet is on freeze.
right.
Yeah.
It's basically video, but I'm problem right now. But we'll find a way to go about this. Prosecutor saying the internet is uncivilized, very uncivilized.
Let me ask you something, E.
Okay.
What are reparations? Let's assume somebody doesn't know what reparations are. What would you tell them reparations are?
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking. If for instance we were having this conversation with somebody who doesn't understand the meaning of
Mm-hmm.
reparations and they were curious to know what it means, what would you tell them that reparation means?
The meaning of reparation.
Yeah.
I think 1 or 2 weeks ago,
Hmm.
and reparation is the action of making amends for wrong payment or other assistance. Basically,
Okay.
making amends for wrong or other assistance to the people who are
Okay.
for wrong that has been done by payment or basically. But I think it's a conversation that has been going internet. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of organizations basically is just voicing it out and waiting for take heed to this, please. Like, it's supposed to be hard of the Africans, you know.
Okay.
And good to have King Simon back as a guest.
That's Joe Mosquito, right? Man.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah,
out
that's
to shout
him.
out to Joe Mosquito.
Yeah. What do you think about?
What do I think about?
Yeah. Do you be hard? It's something we're supposed to be. It's a huge.
You're cutting you're you're cutting off, so I can't hear your statements fully.
Just
Can
at
we
you
restart
guys.
the router or something? But
Yeah.
yeah, if we can restart the router, that would be really
Okay.
helpful. 'Cause, I'd like to be able to understand
Minute, guys.
and have a conversation, or we
Okay.
can switch to data or something.
Musical break as we get back at it.
Okay.
Did you? Why now? Mind. Me back, I know the procedure. I'm so far away.
It's not working.
Can't handle what I am now. To a so tell me, you know, did you forget? Just like anyone, forget. You can see the love from it. You thought it. Yeah, tell me, now you get it. Get it. You thought it. Yeah, tell me.
Thank you guys for joining me back on Let's Pop. Why the Africans were a threat to the Europeans? I'm sorry about that. Hopefully it's okay right now. I hope everybody can hear me. On YouTube, Timeless, you can rejoin me. I can see we're live on the video that I was sharing in regards to why Africans are a threat Thank you for joining me, Kamala. I think we might have just maybe we can work through it.
Yeah, sure, definitely, definitely. We can work through hurricanes. We can work through this.
Like earthquakes right now, or earth moves. I don't know. It was really hot. Like the studio, or my seat was moving, and I'm like, it's actually just me, but the rest of the girls are like, or something. It's crazy.
Oh, what time was that?
I'm sorry.
What time did you feel that the earthquake?
1:30.
Yo, I felt it too. I was like, what the hell? Something
Yeah,
weird
around
is
1:30.
happening. Yeah, cause like if everything was shaky for a minute, and I'm like, is the building collapsing?
Thank you for a minute, and it's the moderate magnitude at its environs. So it was like earth tremor. Everybody was really scared because I thought I'm the one who was shaking, but it was not quakes, man. It's been a minute since I've had an incident. Me Kamlesh, but the number one reason were more way civilized. They had the to invent to just come with up which they basically did not have some reason why Africans were and still a threat. Think that the Africans invented every idea, and that's why the Atlantic happened, and they were taken to the West, the entire country. So everything, seeing the white um families or people as superiors than us, it's based in our minds for a number of years to make us not belong, the fact that we do not deserve, the fact that we cannot amount to anything. It's all a lie. And the greed and the selfishness for which we always talk about, that Africa has the mineral continent, and that also is a threat. And as I said earlier this morning, if we factor or understand everything that is, will be something that will basically steal people up. We talk about reparations is something which a lot of people on YouTube in regards to the African community are basically delving into this conversation thing to do. People might seem that it will not pay fathers and ancestors the pain, the humility. It'll still make a difference in a lot of people's rightful um how can I say think, because they couldn't fight, and the fact that maybe at the time, but it is time right now for basically stand on their feet to understand modern they have been since the age of time. The internet, it sucks, but maybe you follow on it. So we'll Africans were a threat is because we were the most civilized people.
Hey, E, is it easier if
Yeah.
I get on TikTok? You're saying
Do you do you have a TikTok?
I can download, create a temporary account for me to participate.
I think yeah, it is the Black Fire Network. It's 5,000 followers.
Okay.
You can try get on it, and then we can TikTok. General Mosquito says on TikTok it's reason why Africans were attached to the Europeans because they are the number two. He said that since the originated from Africa, it's a threat to time until the time because if we everything is gonna go back to normal and the fact that everyone who gets child right or for them cutting off the African seed way it was back before there were
This idea of genetic annihilation
to Joe Biden Nelson here. Everything is okay in the studio, and we just out why Africans are attached to the Europeans, and also we're hoping you're doing better.
ethnic groups. In Latin America, for example, their enslaved African women and even claimed them, created individuals, for the most part, had privilege and access to offer. This also seems to be true amongst the Arabs, too, as brutal and dehumanizing as the Atlantic slave trade. Some of these children navigated the world as an culture of their Arab father in full, African parentage, but again, identifying in. At the same time, many Arabs perpetuated seemingly to rid themselves of that genetic there. All in all, the idea of Africans but was unique to some non-African groups.
Most strongest factor also idea is the genetic anybody who gets connected to an that is the also most second powerful thread to the Europeans. As I said earlier, if anybody gets connected to an African kid, and that means the human it started with the Africans, so everything is gonna go back to a threat to the Europeans.
African continent holds so many resources into wealth. It's no secret that many modern day nations, and they do a good job at it. This was certainly true. Arabs were well aware of this when they first encountered the Ghana, about what they heard from the merchants who traveled to Ghana, and exaggeration to say that the Arabs were very impressed. The writer to mention the Ghana Empire was an astronomer named 100 AD. He referred to the Ghana Empire. A century later, Ibn Hakel described the king of earth, for he possesses great wealth and reserves of times to the advantage of former kings and his own. His description of Sijomasa concerning its trade. I saw a bill in Adugas certifying a debt owed by one of the traders of Adugas, who was himself in the sum of 42,000 dinars. Comparable to this story in the East, I told it and everywhere it was regarded as a says Africa was so distinguished in the world. Arabs to say against the camel's mange, make a trip to the Sudan. This, everyone who knew about its wealth wanted a piece, merged it, making a proverb out of it, and wealth and power certainly oozed in
Numbers resources of all time, which is something we always talk. Feel like everybody knows about it. Like Africa had we had basically a threat to the Europeans, and the fact that everyone there was basically just bare land. There's nothing like it. Parts are basically different bronze and everything in regards to mineral. There's a lot of people who are not Africans, and that's the Arab trade that they did call the trans that happened, and also how the Europeans just came and basically that made Africa to be Africa. So basically the most civilized, we were the most civilized. The genetic threat, like in the fact that in contact with Africans and breed, and that means every human origin, and Africa will be Africa. It's all about Africa and having the best of it, and it's amazing because when basically taken away from Africa, there were basically gets connected or who's basically intimate. Well, lesser, you're gonna be cut off. So no one was to basically breed with an African, making you feel like, Africans are lesser, we're nothing. So if you think about it at the time and you or basically just get connected in an African, it will make you feel like I'm not better, I'm not gonna amount to anything. You don't want to interact with an ally.
Odd, but it's simply a planet, if you will, because everyone consolidates and increases power, period. And it's
So true. Whoever owns, because I remember we were having this conversation. The fact that we were the most civil, we didn't have any kind of greed because we had more than enough. And the fact that these people saw that we had so much, anybody who has power, you get to control it. They're not us. And the fact that they're not, maybe basically make everybody feel like, not even everybody, it's basically an off match. They were so hungry to basically come to Africa, and the fact that it's still here and they have their still makes us understand how much power. Thank you, Kalmash. I can see you here. Let me know if you're in.
the owners first from the Arab perspective and combination for Africans who were seemingly more interested in world domination. And so this history pains and their descendants may be viewed as a threat. The limited yet ever-present idea. And finally, the perceived advantage of immediate action made Africans a threat to their neighbors, the Arabs. Action as soon seemingly more interested in other forms of capital. This history paints an interesting picture of as a threat. The early narrative of Africans being the ever-present idea of genetic annihilation, advantage of immediate access to wealth and resources, the Arabs and the Europeans, both.
Hello, Kamich, can you hear me? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, better. Putting in the effort during this conversation.
Anytime.
I've basically pointed out 3 factors in regards to as a threat. And I think basically I know about this all time. Number 2, the genetic factor. Number 3, resources which they didn't have in their land. We were talking about reparation, the fact that on StreamYard before we explain that reparation is the action of making a by providing payments or any other assistance, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. This
But
conversation?
you do understand how you do understand that can't give us reparations, right?
Yeah.
Or to give reparations to Africa. To put themselves. I feel like World War. It was the Germans who were paying reparations.
The Holocaust?
The Axis powers, whoever lost, right? Yeah, like countries that lost,
Mhm.
especially Germany, given sort of the rest of the European countries, and
Yeah.
that drove their own paying.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
if they, or even attempt to collapse, because everything will just innately from blessed, everybody wants a piece of you, right?
Of course.
Them being jealous of us now bonkers. And this is where people have to remember
Mhm.
that that is African land that we lost.
That is true.
This is Africa.
Mhm.
It was their peace.
Uh-huh. He's saying, man, I'm going through YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. I can relate, Kamlesh. Kindly go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
the only was try to assimilate African countries that are so staunchly.
Yeah.
Because when the Arabs, they convert you to their religion,
Mm.
they should.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So that should pay reparations.
Mm-hmm.
Africa and only Europe.
That
Even
is. Yeah.
has tried to invade Africa. Land. This is the Garden of Eden.
That is true.
He handed upon us as freedom to exist. That is enough reparations. Because if
Yeah.
the West, the East,
Mm-hmm.
stop meddling in the affairs of black. Tonight, what are they still doing in Congo? Still, like what was happening in
Mm-hmm.
all
Yeah.
Africa?
Yeah.
We need people sit on it,
Yeah.
acceptance on this table, because without they cannot exist.
That is true.
How we get in society today,
Mm.
because if we get real leaders, becomes and we have to structure how Africa gets its from the global
And also, I was
those
reading.
are my few remarks
Okay.
with the video. Or yeah.
Yeah. Which was 223. But before you have like maybe I'm not like a strong believer. I'm a Christian. Searching about these guys. I'm on TikTok with Kamlesh because they're in for a bit, but I hope you guys can follow in the conversation. Now where the Middle East is basically away from us. And he talks about reparation, and he to Africa is the fact that the Europeans should basically leave us and just they should get out of our businesses. Enough reparation, as Kamlesh was saying. I was basically bammed into the fact that there was a slave. That blew my mind.
There was a slave Bible.
Yeah, those are put in thing.
Now let me see if I can. Let me see if I can double same Bible.
No, I researched.
There's a lot of subjects.
A lot of writings or inscription on the slave. It's okay what you're going through. Like it's okay that you genetic factor makes you stronger. So it's like it's fine, right? And
Yeah.
which is
like, I'm of the opinion that I'm of the opinion thing will not give that.
Yeah.
That's talking about endure. And y'all Christians and y'all Muslims, okay? Y'all believe you shouldn't, to be ambitious as per the Bible.
Okay.
To the eye of a rich man to get into heaven.
Yeah.
What is that telling you? That's telling you those that have money. I also raised the point, what if it's the same Bible?
But I was also researching.
Watch white people sermon.
Yeah.
If you ever watch white people sermons, there's of abundance. It's they
Yeah.
differently worded book to them, and it's a well,
Yeah.
and the way they separate it are two very different things.
Okay.
Are not the verses our Kanyari is considered important.
Are you there, Kamash?
Yeah, you can continue.
Oh, right. And the Blackout Fire was talking about like the Bible that which are not put in it, right? Which is so true. Read or basically viewed the true in regards to even the time when King Solomon, like in Egypt, and sorry, they talk about they're basically happened for those who believe in Jesus, everything that happened, and those the book of First and Second. There's the book of Sirach and Judith. Is it Tibet or Tibet that is not in? I was just very confused. But
To know, they want you to a certain amount of information
Yeah.
that guides beneficial to them.
yeah,
And just Catholic Church supported the Nazis in both
free and
Italy
yeah,
in the Second World War. Negate the Jewish faith, because that's a business move.
yeah,
In a sense, that's a
Mm.
business move. You're trying to acquire Amity and all its shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Funded the Nazis. And when the Nazis lost, they had of course. Where we go to how these people transition. The Roman Catholic Church,
Yeah.
because certain while then they stand for certain ideology, they figure out
Yeah.
it became a bank, right?
Right.
When these people saw conquer even after that all these wars that have been fought in Africa once these people got here. That's why grandparents telling you about the time they went to the World War. You fought in the World War. Historians need to come in.
It's so true.
Done so much. wherever else.
Mm-hmm.
And Africa, end of the stick,
Yeah.
not represent ourselves
That is so true.
with unity.
Yeah.
And unless reparations will just be a conversation.
I definitely agree with that, Kamlesh. Hunger for knowledge is very important in regards to a lot of parts or out by myself in what is not true, right? And the fact that the one is also like
Yep.
a type of control, and no were missionary, like they were Christians, they were like loving God and being a sovereign. People maybe in the clergy at the time. As we were winding up right now, Kamlesh, your last word.
JC,
I'm sorry?
are you familiar with who J-Suits are? It was it is Catholic priests
Okay.
that are devoted to the missionaries most times that were sent to that's before the Chinese empire banned Europe. In as they still practice their own thing
Yeah.
because Christianity was not allowed in Japan.
Okay.
People
Mm.
that were sent to these in reality they were colonizers and how do I put it? So to say, pedophile. Once integration was still, and to me, what was done to them. Saying reparations are not a country. We even go to the Catholic Church and all that took advantage of Africa.
Yeah.
We need to talk. City of London gives back African wealth.
And also in regards to some churches,
Every church.
Alrighty.
Even the Protestants.
Our time is up, Kamlesh.
Understand are important.
Yeah.
And why you should actually people who should Africans getting their reparations.
Yeah.
they can trace their lineage back to literally where equations start. Then we come to Africa, where from
Mm-hmm.
which states and therefore.
Mm.
Thank you so
Anytime. I'm really sorry about the internet today. Appreciate your time. Hoping we can talk about the internet is gonna be like amazing, or you're gonna be here in the studio. Talk about and basically also dig deeper.
hopefully next time I'll be in the studio and
Yeah.
we can have this conversation.
So much. Always appreciate you and always appreciating the change we need to see in the world. Take care. Next time if you come to the let me know when you're coming. I come with a thank you
Be in
so
the
much.
studio tomorrow.
Oh, alrighty. Gotcha. I'll get back right at you guys for joining me here on Let's Pop with Irutan. The Americans were a great threat to the Europeans, and we basically the genetic factor that if we continue to breed original state, and the fact that also we were the most had the ideas to build, to create, to do the change you need to see in the world, and all these facts. And every time you tune in, same time, same place, tomorrow more amazing, informative, educative information on the Africa. Have a beautiful afternoon. Take care. My in life. Take care from me to you. It's the lovely Irutan.
Yes, man. Brother, they are reaching out to all the Pan-African mission. Come back to your life. Look at the irony. Don't get it twisted. I don't like this. My distance. Some people